Hello, my name is Thane and I like to experiment with AI art. In this video I will show you 5 word combinations that make your Midjourney 5.1 images look different than they usually do. I got these styles from playing around with the /describe feature in Midjourney. The base image was quite abstract, so obviously the first look is very abstract. First up is abstract drawing with blue, black and red colors. I used -- no watermark in these images. But I think I also should have added -- no mockup to get rid of some of the additional edges that have appeared in the square images. I really like the messy look of these. And also the alternating width of the lines in the images. In combination with the word landscape, the images look like actual paintings and the paint is kind of layered on thickly. The wildlife images too have quite a different look. They have a lot of details, but it's not as overwhelming as the default look of Midjourney 5.1. The upper right image seems to still have a watermark there. They are quite hard to get rid of even with some negative prompts that should help. Macro is really abstract again and also has layers of thick paint. City images barely have a city in them, the abstract is so overpowering. Interior don't seem to have even a hint of anything else besides abstract. And architecture as well except for one image. But the color scheme and the look of these I do like. Portraits actually have some faces there, but surprisingly they seem to really be influenced by cubism. Fantasy images are overpowered by abstract and there seems to still be a problem with watermarks. So does sci-fi, but it looks kind of a mix of planets combined with abstract painting. I really like these. The next style I wanted to show you is intricate woodcut designs. This is something that really benefits from the maximalist look of version 5.1. There is so much detail in these images that it is kind of hard to actually tell what's going on in these images, but they look really cool in my opinion. Giving it a theme really seems to help a lot. Landscapes look awesome with all the tree branches. The wildlife too seems to be mostly concentrated on a single animal in very detailed nature, compared to the usual pile of animals we get with 5.1. For some reason the macro is doing tome skulls here. I wonder what brought that on. Cities look more towards the usual busy images we get with 5.1. And I guess I haven't mentioned yet that this word combination tends to bring out a black and white or brown or grey color scheme to the images. Interiors seem to be of stairs, which is fitting because wood is a very popular choice for building stairs. And architecture is nice, a bit too busy actually, but very whimsical and kind of out of a fairy tale. The portraits look really nice here, kind of an Art Nouveau look to them. The side profile is interesting here, because usually the portrait word produces faces that are not inside profile. The top left fantasy image reminds me of the works of Hokusai a little bit. And I really like the red in the lower left image. Sci-fi looks really different from the usual look of it. And again I like the red image there the most. The next one is simply a color combination of dark gray and pink. But I really like the outcome, even though the default style of 5.1 is quite strongly represented. A lot of balloons and really busy images, but the color scheme is totally spot on. The landscapes look unnatural, but really nice. Wildlife seems to be doing some elephants with flowers. And macro is mostly flower petals, which is actually different from what 5.1 usually does here. City is kind of towards the default style, lots of balloons and birds there. I really like the style of these interiors. They're finally what I would have imagined to usually see when I selected this word for my comparisons. But I usually seem to get car interiors or other stuff. And architecture is a mix of Barbie mansions and some strange stuff. The portraits are looking quite regular. as are sci-fi images. Fantasy is doing some nice castles, but I really like this color combination. The next one is something I would have never thought of myself. Whiplash curves. Mostly it seems to add some really surreal curved roads to the images. And other curved lines and objects. Very fun and weird stuff. So landscapes obviously have some really curved roads. Wildlife is really leaning heavily towards elephants today, I think. And macro is showing us some curved details of something unrecognizable but pretty. Cities too have some really curved roads added to the roads. The interiors are very odd, kind of 60s aesthetics and cars. And architecture too has some really nice curved lines woven in there. The portraits look really crazy. The men there have some kind of cloth woven around them. Fantasy is more surreal, I guess, still featuring some very curvy roads. And sci-fi looks slightly different there too. The lower left android has some very curvy metal constructs there. And also the kind of 60s look seems to be featured in these as well, in my opinion. The final word combination is woven color planes. And it does exactly what it's supposed to. We get really colorful patches of colored cloth that are interwoven. Landscape and macro actually don't look too recognizable, but they do look different. But wildlife looks great. Especially the bear that is patched together out of so many tiny pieces. Cities and architecture actually are barely recognizable. But interiors look really cool. Haven't seen anything like that so far with version 5. Portraits too seem to be patched together from a lot of pieces. Fantasy is kind of lost here, it seems. The images are more abstract in nature. And sci-fi looks okay, lots of containers about and all around. But that was it. I hope you got some new looks for your prompts from these. Also, please let me know what you think about this kind of tiny burst of 5 styles. Would you like to see more videos like these in the future? If you do like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I always do appreciate all comments and likes as well. Thank you for watching, and let's continue prompting.